ziet hem overal op de hoeken van de straten van zijn land.
Hello everybody, and welcome back to another iRacing video. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. We're doing an IMSA race around Watkins Glen in the Cadillac GTP. Prior to this race, I just started learning this track 2 days ago, and considering that, I actually felt decently quick. Even though I was confident with my pace, my first few races did not go to plan. Oh no, fuck! Fuck! Are you kidding me, bro? Oh my god. What is wrong with me, man? Oh my god. Okay, well. So yeah, now that we got the bad races out of the way, let's hope for a good one. So starting off the first lap of the qualifying session, already butchering the run onto the front straight. It really is difficult trying to get these tires warmed up in the first couple of laps. So this first lap, I'm just primarily focusing on setting a banker lap and just making sure we have time on the board. Coming across the line as we finish our first lap and start our second lap, we set the pace with a 31.5 as we jump into the top spot. I'm not usually the biggest fan of American tracks, but this track surprisingly is a lot of fun to drive, and it's like super fast, super flowing, especially with the GTP. Now approaching the back straight, coming up on the chicane, you're looking for an orange mark on the left wall as your braking reference. Really looking to just mount these first two curbs, not so much that third curb because it can spit you out. Now down in the fourth gear, really trying to get on the power as early as you can. Make sure you're also using as much of the track as you can. Now down into third gear for this corner, I probably could have floored it a little bit sooner, but I was still playing it cautious. But yeah. Braking at the 200 board for this corner, I apex a little early there, and I think I noticed that and compromised my exit a little bit, but I think we're still on for a good lap. Same thing, 200 meter board, braking just about, and you can go really wide on this corner, surprisingly. You can just really get out past the curb. Now coming down onto turn 9, this is probably one of my weakest corners. It is really hard to get the power down there, super difficult traction zone, and there's been a lot of improvements this lap. We have Julian taking the top spot with a 30.5, and Kyle, a fellow Kyle, up in P2, and Bryce is gonna slot in right in front of us. But coming across the line, is our lap gonna be good enough for pole? And it's just enough. We currently have provisional pole with 2 minutes left to go in the qualifying session.
Dude, it's close. It's gonna be a close race, just based off the times. Will we hold pole position?
We do end up maintaining pole position, and let's just hope it goes better this time around.
Brake early 2-1, brake early 2-1, brake early 2-1.
That was my mantra going into this race, and will continue being my mantra for future races. Spotting our braking point going into turn 1, we take it easy because we do in fact learn from our mistakes around here. I also want to give a special shout out to Rose in Twitch chat as well for helping engineer this race. And the Cadillac seeming to be a very popular choice for this week. It's gonna be a wild race. This multi-class racing always is. 15 cars in my class and 38 cars in total. Let's see if we can convert this pole position into a win. Now fast forwarding through the first lap a little bit, I thought I had a decent pull away there. And the gap's already up to a second, so I can't really complain about the race start. Now riding on board with Julian, there was an accident behind, so it kind of opened up the gap just a little bit for us. Jumping onto the third lap, the gap is now around 3 seconds, and I'd say I'm in a pretty comfortable spot. There's no immediate pressure from behind, and I'm not really pushing too hard. I'm still focusing on making sure the tires and brakes get warmed up. But you know, in multi-class racing, 3 seconds can go away so fast once you reach traffic.
Yeah, when I hit traffic, it's going to be tricky. My traffic management isn't the greatest.
starting to finally reach the first set of GT cars, and I had just a little bit of a lift. I was unsure of how big of a dive would be needed to make that move, but we made it stick nonetheless. And we're now approaching a group of about 3 GT cars, and I'm just not a fan of trying to make a move through here. It's very awkward, and in hindsight, I probably should have let that Mustang drift out wide to the racing line, and I go on the inside so I can compromise my exit as little as possible. But you know, it is what it is. You live and you learn. Gap now down to 0.8, and as you can see, we were kind of the losers of this first round of traffic. Julian had a much better time in traffic than I did, and now, like I said earlier, our gap disappeared just like that. It's always tricky in multi-class racing. Traffic management is a whole nother skill you have to learn, because getting past slower traffic while minimizing your time loss while also respecting the racing line for the slower classes is not the easiest task.
I thought it was gonna like start turning for the racing line, so I predicted. And I just try to go to the outside. I think I just really have to make use of the clean air when I get it.
And that was kind of going to be our win condition for this race. We had to really maximize our pace in clean air, because I think Julian was doing a lot better in traffic than I was. And we're starting to clear this fairly thick group of GT3 cars. We're actually getting around better than we did last time around that part. And we're starting to put a few cars between Julian and I, so that kind of helps increase the gap a little bit. Lap 8 was a bit of a scary lap. We had a few moments happen that could have ended our race, having to just lift off and look at the Porsche just come across. I was not expecting that. We could have died right there, but yeah, we still make it out. And as we approach the carousel, we have 2 GT3s fighting in front of us, so I really got to be careful and make sure they see me if I try to make a move down the inside. The Lamborghini makes a move down the inside on the Porsche, and there's a spinner up ahead, and I just bad decision making here for me. I should have went on the inside again, and I get kind of caught in this traffic on the outside, and now I'm like boxed in between a few GT3 cars, and I actually get hit there on the rear by the Porsche, and I'm just glad I saved that, because that also could have been a race ender. But yeah, it's been a pretty chaotic traffic lap, this one. There's been a lot going on, and Julian was able to close that gap down to 0.4. So again, our struggles in traffic continue as we're stuck behind this Lambo, but we're starting to make it out of the first round of traffic, so we'll just see if we can improve upon this.
You have to leave the space.
All the time.
I think you have to leave the space. All the time you have to leave the space.
Thank you for that, Mr. Fernando Alonso. Yes, all the time you do have to leave the space. Lap 12 now, gap up to 2 seconds. We really made use of the clean air that we were talking about earlier, and we were just taking advantage of that whenever we can. And we've got a Ferrari up ahead that spun, his rear wing completely gone, or his entire rear just completely gone. But yeah, like, we were able to build the gap back up to around 2.3 seconds. A little bit more of a comfortable spot, but again, like earlier, we're not going to make that same mistake, and we're going to just try to keep our head down and focus on the laps ahead. And that is actually how I would want to make my move ideally through that part of the track. Through the inside, car drifts out wide, the GT3 car drifts out wide, and yeah, I think that's just the best way to minimize time loss. Now coming up onto a group of 3 GT3 cars. I wanted to send it on the inside here, technically inside of the next corner, but the McLaren ahead kind of lagged a little bit, and it made me hesitate, so we lost a good chunk of time there. Porsche pulls over to the right, and now gap down to 0.9. He did get caught up a little bit, but we also did lose all that extra time there.
Copy Rose. We'll box this lap, maybe?
Lap 18 now, as we're about to pit. Ooh, we have a bit of a moment there, and we almost lose the car. Same here. I think I'm just really struggling with the weight balance with lower fuel. I think in the moment I thought it was the tires. You can definitely feel the tires going a little bit, but it was probably more so the balance of the car with lower fuel. So we decide to pit, and Julian is gonna follow us into the pits. I saw a group of cars ahead too, so I decided, you know what, let's pit early and just see if it works well. Coming out of the pits, we're basically racing out of the pits. We come out almost side by side, but luckily I have the inside line. Julian is smart, he thinks better of it, and he concedes the position right away. We've got just about 16 minutes of racing left, and I have my work cut out for me if I really want to keep this lead, because Julian's really been nailing down the traffic laps, but I've also been nailing down the clean air laps. Coming down into turn 1, this Ferrari is going to mess us up, and it's probably the worst spot to run into traffic because you just lose all the momentum going down the straight. Like, look at Julian, he's already gaining a lot on me. Let's see if he looks for this move. I kind of have to fend, keep my car kind of in the middle of the track, move over the racing line, and I think he's just biding his time really. He's not really looking to make a move with this much time left in the race. And it's kind of game on from here.
Yeah, we have like a minute of extra fuel. It's about a half a lap's worth. Like an entire lap's worth. Yeah. Security lift so I don't hit the wall.
Clock ticking down, and my mistakes are increasing a little bit, but not as much as this guy that's parked on the right. But yeah, just trying to get a car in between Julian again, but he follows me through well, and I kind of got to give him props for it because I'm trying my best to get through traffic, and he's just following me through it very cleanly.
I gotta start switching my battery modes more. I think if I can, I'm going to drain the battery at the end of the race. But for now, I think I'll just keep it in balance.
Gap up to 1.3 now, and as you can see, we're clearly gaining a lot of time when we do get the clean air, but
This traffic's going to cook me.
yeah, when I get traffic like this in the middle of the chicane, it's where I lose a majority of the time, you know, and sometimes there's nothing you can really do about it. There is a luck sort of element in multi-class racing, but there is also a lot of elements that you can control, and I think that was just one of those moments that I couldn't control. One of these moments is something that I could have controlled, and I think just, yeah, going back to what I was saying, you know, letting them have the racing line, maybe making my move towards the inside so I don't make an awkward pass like that and just end up losing more time. Again, the chicane is really killing me. Super unlucky through the chicane, just running into another car the next lap over. I have a look up the inside, and Julian's looking to really stick it on the outside.
I tried to send it on the outside. Holy shit.
Yeah, he tried to make that move stick, and it just didn't. So we'll try and use that as an advantage and see if we can run away with it. But after one corner, we catch some traffic, and yeah, this is just multi-class racing, and I actually kind of have to take evasive action to make sure I don't hit the back of him. Get a car between us, but Julian actually gets a move down on the inside of that Porsche, and yeah, he keeps the gap under a second. 2 cars here to pass. Julian still 0.4 behind. I get the move done down the inside, and we don't lose too much time from that.
Maybe second to last on the penultimate lap, we changed the battery. Curious to see how much it drains though. I should do it when I have like clean air.
So we're on lap 25. Well, actually we're about to be on lap 26 in a bit. We reach a bit of traffic, and as you can see, I'm just really trying to put as many cars between Julian and I. Really trying to increase the gap, but he's still sticking around. He's still 0.5 behind. And now we're reaching GTP traffic here. We got P11 that we're about to lap.
Please don't fight this too hard, man.
And yeah, as you can hear, I'm kind of just worried if he's gonna let us by cleanly, or if it's gonna be kind of in an awkward spot, or if he's just gonna fight it for some reason, even though he's blue flagged. But we do get past. Julian also gets past. More traffic up ahead, having to lift a little bit. And still, Julian is just sticking with us. Point through the gap behind. 4 minutes left in the race. And this entire race, I have just had no breathing room whatsoever. Julian's done a good job throughout the entire race of just keeping me on my toes and making me really earn this win.
And I'll drain the battery a little bit.
2 more laps left in the race. We've got more traffic up ahead. A little bit of an awkward moment. I was kind of hesitant because I wasn't really looking for it, and then, yeah, like I said, I was just really hesitant. But the door opened, so
Still have a lot of battery. for
I
last lap.
just went for it. And yeah, we've got a good amount of battery here. I big send down onto turn 1 onto the Mustang, and Julian follows me through, and that send kind of compromised my line on the exit, so now Julian gets a better run on us. And Julian's got a lot of overspeed here. Look, he's basically right on our rear, and I'm gonna go defensive. He tucks into our toe a little bit late, but the move's not really on, so we just take the racing line as normal.
Definitely gonna need to have battery for that. What's the usage like on it? Does it drain too quick?
So yeah, just looking to have as much battery for the last lap as we get past this Mustang here, and we actually get a little bit of a car in between us, half a second gap behind, and it's looking good for us. We've got a decent gap behind, and we should win this if we just keep it on track and go decently quick. But I'm actually breaking a little too safe now. Look at that. Julian was able to close the gap a little bit, but I just tend to get better exits than he does. Same thing here, closing the gap, under braking. I think I'm braking still too early, despite there not being a lot of fuel in the car. And he's keeping super close still, so he is leaving it to the final corner. I really cannot mess this final corner up, because you can get a decent run here all the way down to the line and lose the race. So
Good exit. Come on, boys! Come on, boys! Come on! Come on, boys! Come on! Let's go. GG's, Julian. That was intense.
Yeah, good race. Wow, great race, Kyle. Great race, Julian.
GG's, guys. GG's.
Flat, but made it back to P4.
Nice.
You want a cookie or something?
And that's gonna do it. Thank you all for watching. This is my first commentary style video, so let me know on anything I can work on in the future. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you guys on the next one.